powered by Riverside FM.
Hey, freaks, geeks, and elites. We're Marley and AJ, and we're here to serve you a 3-course meal of this fortnight's hyper-focus flavors.
So place your napkins, because you know things in our kitchen gonna get messy, and let's get into it.
Have you heard that joke?
No.
So,
what's that?
There's a little red man, right? Near the little red house. Everything in the house is red. You know, it's just everything about his life is red. One day, he's taking a little red man's having a shower, and he's in the red shower, and he's in the little red house, and someone knocks on the door. And he gets out and wraps his little red towel around his little red waist, opens the door, and the towel slips. And the person at the door freaks out, screams, runs out, and gets hit by a truck. What's the moral of this story? Never run across the road when the little red man is flashing.
I don't know if you've watched The Last of Us.
I have not.
It's got this bit in it where the main character has found this ancient book of puns in some like abandoned gas station, and it's at that phase of the relationship where there's like a father figure character and a teenage girl character, and the father figure character is of course like a grumpy, prickly middle-aged man who is just there to do a job and not gonna be your friend, blah blah blah. But she keeps reading out the puns to him, just like random situations, like they'll be like in sleeping bags in the middle of the woods at night, and she'll read one out. The look on his face will just be like, oh, that is so bad. But eventually she starts winning him over, and he starts laughing at them. There's some really good ones. This is the kind of bending over backwards that we will do for our audience if you only follow us and like us.
Yes, get involved. Maybe we'll
send us a comment.
Maybe we'll put some polls on the Facebook page just to spice things up.
I think we're almost at enough critical mass to at least have some sort of token poll.
Right? We've got 12 whole followers on Facebook, and only 2 of them are us.
Yeah.
So that means we've got 10 followers.
10 real people. I have done cross stitch as well. Do you want to see my cross stitch?
Yes, I will.
It's really good. I'll show you. The website I ordered this from was called Subversive Cross Stitch. Yeah.
Yep, okay. Very good.
And it sits up in our living room where we can see it easily, because we basically need to be reminded of that all the time.
I will be requiring a picture of that to put on the Facebook.
I will add it. I'll try and do a good quality photo for you to put on.
Yeah. I personally always feel really abnormal around people, and I just wish everything in life came with a script. What am I supposed to say? How am I supposed to interact with people? Because I don't know. And being the AUHD, DDH, I can never get that right.
Yeah.
But because I'm on the spectrum as well as being ADHD, I get stuck in loops where my brain will go, this is an interesting story, and then it's coming out of my mouth, and I'm hearing it coming out of my mouth, and went, that was not an interesting story. And it was in no way, shape, or form related to anything we were speaking about previously. Brain, what are you doing up there? So, there's just thought comes into thinky organ and then comes out of mouth talky placey, and there seems to be very little decision matrix going on.
You're missing the brain structures that actually would filter that out for anyone.
Yep. And it gets worse the more I like someone. So, if I've met someone I think they're cool and I'd like to vibe with them and I'd like to make friends with them, the impulse control gets worse because I feel like I have to show them I'm interesting, and I need to do it as fast as possible, or else I'll lose this opportunity to make a friend. If I don't like you, I'm really chillax with you because I have very little interest in actually engaging with you to start with. But yeah, the more I like you, the weirder I get and the less control I have out of the stupid shit that comes out of my mouth. This is why I'm still single, I tell you. Honestly. So, because it gets worse. Right?
We need to start up our
dating for neurodivergent people, yes.
Neurodivergent safe dating.
Yes. Neuro-spicy online speed dating with optional mediators to help with ice-breaking and translation.
And I give you a script.
Yes.
Literally. If you
Absolutely.
need it.
So it's just like, I don't even know, like, I don't know if a script would even help me at that point, because, like, it's just like...
Because you wouldn't be following it.
Well, it's... I have so much built-in trauma and like everything else on top of the weird shit that goes on with my brain, where I've been told repeatedly throughout my younger life and, as I got older, that I wasn't interesting. I wasn't good at much, I wouldn't amount to much. There was a single thread through there, and it's the probably reason why I'm actually really confident about one thing, which is my intelligence. I am intelligent. I'm weird as fuck, but I am intelligent. Because, like, the one thing throughout the whole thing was my mother very much reinforced that I was intelligent and I could do what I wanted. She did it in a really weird way. You'd come home with an A, and then she would tell you the story about how she got an A++ once, and you could do better. But
oh God, thanks for the encouragement.
Yes,
I guess you could say that she never fell short on the growth mindset.
Yeah, yeah. That's a nice way of saying it. Yes. So,
I try to be diplomatic.
and so needy and desperate for love. No, but so it's very much, if you tell a child something often enough, they believe it.
People internalize stuff. Yeah,
so sure. While I believe that I'm intelligent and I get things, I don't think I'm very interesting or deep. So,
well, I think you are. But...
Well, that's good. Do you want to marry me?
I'm already taken. Sorry.
I can share.
I'll ask Adam how he feels about it.
Okay. Ask him how he feels about, like, an open poly relationship. Like, you guys can do all the kinky bedroom stuff. I just don't want to be alone, okay? So can I just tag along and live in your life with you?
Well, as long as we have a podcast, you'll never truly be alone.
That is true.
At least have someone to talk to about stuff.
We have so gone way off track now.
What were you saying about routine and habits again?
Yeah, right? Hey, look, this has actually been really good. Like, we have been pretty good about, the routine of doing the recordings. We've only had that one little gap in there, which made sense because you had a birthday party and I was exhausted.
That was a total legit break.
So, whenever something hurts or you're not feeling well, the first thing that Llama says is, do you want me to punch it better? And every time I'm like, punching things does not make them better. And he's like, are you sure about that? Has there been a study? And I'm like, if you can get a study and get some actually statistically significant results for it, I will listen. And he sort of wandered away. He came back one day from going to see his bestie. And he flips my whiteboard over and starts drawing a bloody spreadsheet on it. I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, well, Jazz has told me that I'm allowed to test punching things to make them better as long as I keep a spreadsheet on your whiteboard. I'm like, so basically, Jazz was hoping that I would fight you on the spreadsheet so that he would get punched? Is that what I'm hearing? No, okay. So it stayed on the back of the whiteboard for a long time. And, he had like...
Did it ever get filled out?
He had like 4 sample points where he
that's not enough data.
No, I told him it's not statistically significant, and because we were actually only fighting about it the other day, actually, because I had this headache since Wednesday and I've been feeling like shit. And he's like, "Do you want me to punch better?" I said, "No, like it's no." He's like, "But I had the spreadsheet." I'm like, "You didn't have any results worth having. You had like 2 results there." He's like, 4? I had 4. No, that's still not statistically significant.
That's not enough. You need more like 4,000.
He's
Sorry,
like,
dude.
Well, I could keep getting more, but you rubbed it off. I'm like, yeah, and you're on a computer now, so make your own bloody spreadsheet and leave my whiteboard alone. So,
Whiteboards are not the best tool for spreadsheeting.
right?
I mean, you at least could get some graph paper
Yeah,
and still
yeah.
be a step up from a whiteboard.
Yeah. So I expect that any decade now he's going to come back to me and let me know that he's got, 16 data points, and now he should be allowed to punch me.
Well, maybe punching stuff makes him feel better about it.
Yeah.
Which is still not the goal. It doesn't make you feel better.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. But, yeah. There are many, many crazy stories about weird things and conversations that happen in my family. One day I'll tell you about us planning Beth's 21st and how we tried to figure out whether we should have hookers or strippers. The most traumatizing part of that was Daniel basically going, why can't we have both? I said, because it's your aunt's birthday party. And it just got creepy. So, yeah.
And on that note, I'm going to go order some pizza. This is only a slight tangent, but there was an internet personage, so I don't know if you've ever heard of this book, but there was a book in the early 2000s called The Clue Train Manifesto, and a lot of it was about kind of trying to grapple with and understand the cultural and economic impacts that the internet were going to have on us. Like, it's... I don't know, maybe if you've heard the phrase, markets are conversations. That was one of the theses of the book, and it had a lot of authors contributed to it. One of the authors was this guy named Chris Locke, who kind of weirdly became like an internet-only buddy of mine. In the early 2000s, Chris Locke started this email newsletter called Energy Gradient Reversals, which is just about as trippy as it sounds, just kind of expounding on all kinds of things. And he ended up writing a book called Gonzo Marketing that was inspired by Hunter S. Thompson and basically kind of predicted influencer culture, but instead of it being the turning people into brands, dehumanizing machine that it is today, he envisioned this world where people made the corporations they work for more human by sharing their passions and then being able to tie that in with the products that they're trying to sell. But he also started a book that he never finished called Mystic Bourgeoisie. And basically that was all about how, this is like 2005 was when he started it, and at the time Deepak Chopra and Marianne Williamson were like big into like, here's how to be a better person, and speaking their particular brands of pseudo-spirituality and things like that. And because he would just read obsessively about his ideas and read this huge range of books and then somehow stew all of that together into what he was thinking and theorizing. And he actually started looking into the eugenics movement, and there was a whole thing in eugenics about wellness. About
This is a dark place now.
yeah, keeping the body really pure and not letting any contaminants into your body and staying healthy, and a lot of the same sorts of spiritual themes as well as some of this stuff. And I found it really interesting that like there is a really easy slippery slope there of like, my body needs to be pure from sugar or caffeine or whatever, or unhealthy foods, carbs, to getting very, very narrow about what purity and perfection look like. And that, I think that whole blog really influenced me quite a lot.
I'm scared. What influenced you how?
In terms of this is snake oil, stay away. This is turning into culty stuff. Yeah. So like, wellness bad, right? Like at the end of the day, wellness is the slippery slope to Nazism, basically.
I feel like that could have backfired on him tragically. It's like, well, I should keep my body free of contaminants, which means all external things, so your semen can go somewhere else. Have a happy life.
No, so Chris Locke's thesis was like, this whole like spiritual purity, physical purity stuff is the road to death camps. Don't buy into it.
Okay. So he had a good point.
He wasn't arguing for wellness. He was arguing against it.
Meanwhile, I discovered a thing today that I've decided that I really want to do. It's called...
Oh, what's that?
It's called Hydro Attack. It is over in Queenstown, New Zealand. And it's like this high-speed, 80 kilometers an hour water thing before it, jumps up. You can go...
Oh, is it... I'll look it up.
Yeah, look it up, but, I don't want to bungee jump or anything. The idea terrifies me. I have absolutely zero interest.
I'm not a huge fan of
I want to try this. So yeah, roller coasters terrify the shit out of me, and I can't ride most of those anyway because apparently
shark boat ride.
Yes,
is it a shark?
Yes,
boat? Oh, that's cool. I want one.
But they skim along just sort of slightly under before it jumps up because they're going so.
Yeah.
Yes,
that looks so rad.
So come on.
I'll go with you.
Yes!
If you go, we'll go together and we'll hold hands and scream.
Yes!
Totally freaking awesome.
Yes. Bring the fam. We'll go on one of those 7-day cruises around New Zealand, and when we're in Queenstown, we're doing this.
Yeah,
yep.
That sounds good.
Excellent. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm funny. I'm very mixed with thrill-seeking stuff. There's some stuff that I really love, and there's some stuff that wild horses could not drag me to do. I will never jump out of a plane.
Nope.
My dad's now 80, but for his 70th birthday, he did a piggyback jump out of a plane, and I'm just like, why? Why would you do that?
No. If God had wanted me to fly, he would have given me wings, okay? No.
I'm okay with flying in airplanes. I'm not okay with the jumping out part.
Yeah, why would
if the plane was crashing, I would still struggle. I would be like, but...
Isn't there another way? Haven't we invented teleportation yet?
Can I take the lift?
No, the idea of jet skis and things like that, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I love jet skis.
Bring it on.
Those are fun.
So I've always wanted to try water skiing, but I don't think I've got the upper arm strength to pull myself. Because I know it takes a lot of strength. Water
skiing, and it was an absolute abject failure. I didn't spend more than about 0.3 of a second upright before I'd fall over again. It was very discouraging.
There's some things that are considered extreme sports like that I'll happily, but I'm not jumping off anything, out of anything, and the idea of climbing up things with just a rope attached to me is also scary. Let's just say up is out, okay?
Yeah, see, weirdly, I have gone caving where you did have to crawl down and back up a rope, but for some reason I found that not too scary. So this is many years ago, before I even moved to Australia, and there was a person that I worked with who was really into it, and he kind of gave us a little boot camp where we practiced just outside at a watchtower for the forest fires, so the Forestry Services fire tower. And, you clip in, it's around your hips. Somehow that feels more reassuring to me than something around my chest.
Yeah.
I don't know why. That's just random. I get that it's totally irrational, but, you kind of sat down and you could use a tool, an ascender, so you're not actually pulling up with your arms too much. You just kind of slide this thing and then it does a lot of the work for you. So we practiced with those, and I felt really comfortable with that. But getting into the cave was a little bit freaky, and I'm not claustrophobic, but you were backing through this very narrow passageway in the dark going backwards, and that was a bit terrifying. But he went first, and then he kind of, like, grabbed my foot and, like, guided me down. And, yeah, we climbed around in the dark in this cave for, like, at least a couple of hours. And I didn't mind that. But jumping off of the thing, yeah, that's a barrier that I struggle with a lot. Even the high dive board, I'm kind of like, I'll do it, but I don't like it.
I don't like caves so much. I don't like the idea of caving, as in the tunnels and crawling through them, but
yeah,
caves are fine. I know up in Rockhampton when I was living up there, I don't know if they still do it or not, but they used to have concerts in the caves, like opera and stuff like that, and you go into it and listen to it. Awesome night out.
Yeah. When I was young, I had a great aunt who lived in this city in New Mexico called Carlsbad, and that's famous for one of the really big limestone caverns. This is one where you, like, walk in, it's like a paved path. It's so huge, and it has all the stalactites and stalagmites, and so every time we would go. So my grandmother used to do, like, regular trips, like road trips, and she would take one of the cousins at a time because one was all she could handle. So she would drive, and she'd give me the map, and I would tell her where to go. I'd read the map and give, like, this exit, Granny, and yeah, we would go out there, and then we would always do a trip to Carlsbad Caverns and go do the little tour. And they had this one area where you were well inside the cave, and there were, like, theater seats, and you'd sit down for the presentation. They'd give you a little spiel, and then they would turn out all the lights. So you could experience how truly dark it was. And then the other thing that I liked about Carlsbad was it's on the Pecos River, and it had one section that was kind of, like, cordoned off that had big water slides into the river. So we would do the water slide thing, and then we would drive back, and we'd always stay in Motel 6, and we would always get, like, because it was usually summer break, so it was hot. So we would just get, like, picnic food. So my granny would get, like, crackers and cheese and slice up an apple and Vienna sausages and stuff like that. We would just have, like, picnic toddler food. Live off of that.
I mean, it sounds ideal to me, but okay.
Yeah. It was great.
Excellent.
Yes. So I never minded caves and dark and stuff, because we always would do that. We did that at least 3 or 4 times, I think.
Nice. Alright.
Well, do we need to have our rant about the Visa and MasterCard being payment gateway assholes?
No, I feel like I'd rather let it end on the high. Like, that's
okay.
Stupid, isn't it? No, I'm about to start up.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Like, if it's not illegal, I should be allowed to buy it with my fucking credit card. End of story. I don't care. You know, Daniel came in and told me about it, right? He's talking to me about, did you know that Steam is, what games can be on Steam is going to be up to the payment providers. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, MasterCard and Visa are going to get to... Wait, why? I don't understand what criteria do they have to do ratings on games? I don't understand. Oh, because, you know, the anti-porn movement, you know, nagged them and basically rang up and Karen them into agreeing to basically say you couldn't buy things. I'm like, I'm sorry, if it's not illegal, they should not be restricting me from buying it. I'm like, are these American Karens? He's like, probably. And I went and looked it up and I went, no, they're fucking Australian. God damn.
Yeah. That is so weird. Like, it just boggles my mind.
Have we considered parenting our kids instead, supervising what they play and buy, instead of banning me from things that, as a 46-year-old woman, I should be legally allowed to buy because it's not illegal in my country?
Yeah. Well, I wonder if there's a bit of that. There's still that perception that games are, like, video games are kids' things. And it's like, surely we are past that phase now. Like, that was the 1980s mentality. But, like, all of those people who were kids in the 1980s are adults, and most of them still play video games in one form or another. And some of them probably like porn. So maybe they want porny games.
This is the same mob that's been working to get the under-16 social media ban in Australia in December.
Yeah.
I don't think they've thought this through. If they get rid of
They haven't.
YouTube Kids in Australia, that means that kids will watch YouTube on their parents' accounts, which means they'll get more NSFW ads on an adult account than they have on a child account.
And it really doesn't take into account, like, we discourage our kids from watching YouTube on their phones. Like, we have things set up to... Because it's a tiny screen.
Kids?
Yeah.
Oh, shut me.
And... But we do say it's fine. We do usually let them watch it on the TV because we have a smart TV and we have YouTube app on the smart TV.
And it makes it easier for you to monitor what they're watching.
How is any age verification going to work on my smart TV? It's not. Like, so are you just going to assume because I'm logged in as me that the person who's pushing the button is 47? Yeah, anyway, it's stupid. They haven't thought it through.
They haven't.
Even people I know who are genuinely concerned about the problem of young kids engaging with social media in unhealthy ways know that this is not the solution.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not.
I mean, isn't it fairly
answer.
easy to go down a better path of, like, we keep YouTube for kids, they're not allowed to do any commenting, there's no comments on.
They're already not.
Well, then what's the fucking problem?
If it's a channel that's marked for kids, they can't leave comments anyway.
And if they're on a
it's
kid's
kind
account,
of
they
dumb
can't watch
that
it if
they're
it's not
doing
up.
it.
I don't understand. I really don't understand what the hell and I'm assuming this whole, like, I haven't done my research yet, but I'm assuming this social media ban for under 16s is more than just YouTube, though.
It is. It's lots more. It's like Instagram, Snapchat,
But how
Facebook.
do you enforce that?
You don't.
Exactly.
That's what's dumb about it. You can't enforce it. It's just as dumb as the, sort of fair use with digital media, DRM management stuff.
Because, like
you can't enforce that someone is copying something legitimately or not legitimately.
Well, this is it. Like,
you can't enforce that someone that's not what technology does.
Yeah.
People need to govern themselves, and the technology is just a tool.
Yeah. Well, Facebook already has you're not supposed to have an account if you're under 13.
Yeah.
Plenty of kids are on there. Instagram, you shouldn't be monetizing your fucking children for a start. How about we ban that before we ban kids using it? You know, I really, 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 really passionately hate family influencers. I really
That's a good hot take, actually.
I don't think it's a hot take. I think more and more people are seeing for what it is, exploitation of their children.
It's just, it's being a beauty pageant mom all over again, right? Like,
But
it's
worse,
the same thing.
But worse, because now
or being a stage
of
mom.
your home, the camera's in these kids' faces every fucking day. You know, can you cry better for the thumbnail?
And it's very, it's very artificial.
The beige mumming is the worst, in my opinion, because I've read plenty of stories about it. They do the beige mumming thing because it makes it like more cleaner for their videos and everything, so they don't like colourful toys and shit. Toddlers, colours are important to their learning and
colours
development.
for their development.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, for you to get a couple of bucks and feel popular on the internet, you have stunted your child's growth as well as exploited them for money. They can't consent. I honestly, I think these influencers, when their kids are involved, they should have to fall under the same laws that govern children in movies and TV shows and
child labour, basically.
Yep. So, you know, it just it grosses me out to so many levels.
It does.
Not to mention the amount of pressure it puts on other mothers. You know, there's image of perfection, and I can't make it. What's wrong with me? No, parenting is messy. It's messy.
Yeah.
These people
And
have enough
everyone
money.
does it differently. There's no one way.
Right?
There's no magic bullet
Exactly.
parenting. You've got to figure out what works for your family.
Well, not just your
I
family,
had
the
to learn
individual
that the
kids
really
as
hard
well.
way with twins as well, because
Yeah, because gentle parenting may work for one child, but it won't work for the next child, and that's just in the same family. Never mind across the board and over the hills and far away. What would have worked raising me as a neurodivergent child would not have worked with my next brother down, who is so typical in every way. There's an ongoing joke among the siblings that Damien is the black sheep of the family because he is the normal child.
He's the normie.
Yeah.
He's like, what was their a name? I'm thinking of the Munsters, and there was the cousin that looked like a model, and everybody's like, yeah, she's the special one.
Her name is Marilyn.
She's a little bit homely. I think it was
Yes,
Marilyn,
yeah. No, but he had charisma, he was popular, he, played sports, no mental issues that we're aware of. Then you had me, who was all sorts of messed up. The middle child, who is, she had her own issues to start with, but she's trans now. The next two down, one is heavily ADD, but in an introverted way. So, I don't know if you or other people listening are aware of this, but ADD is not always noisy and loud. He can't filter out the ambient sound enough to concentrate on things, so he just goes quiet and internalizes.
Yeah.
And then the last child on the end is my younger sister, and she's all sorts of weird and fucked up, just like me, but... all the other four of us were bullied, picked on, and hated at school. And then you have this one little golden child in the middle who had friends and loved ones and married his high school sweetheart, is still married now, and, did all of the right check boxes, and that makes him the black sheep.
Yeah.
Because black sheep doesn't mean bad, it just means you're the odd one out.
You're the one that stands out of the flock.
Yeah, one of these things is not like the other. One of these things was accidentally switched in the hospital.
Must have been.
So, yeah, that's Damien. He's my favourite sibling because I never hear from him. He never wants anything from me. Not true. Beth, I still love you. You're still my favourite. Because she does listen, so I need to make sure I throw that in there.
I'll make sure I don't edit that bit out.
Don't edit that one out. I just forget that my socials exist, so the fact that I'm still posting at least one post a week on our Facebook page is actually good job.
Yeah.
Good job, Marley.
There you go. You built a habit.
Yeah. I'm trying to do better because I wanted to post at least every other day, and I haven't. We don't have enough feedback from the people who are listening for me to start getting an idea for the sort of posts that they might like to see or engage with. So, although I was thinking that since I was seriously considering whether or not I should consider seriously moving to Sydney, maybe I should put a poll up and see what people think. Should Marley relocate to Sydney? This poll is not legally binding.
No.
AJ just got too excited that I had to throw that disclaimer in.
But it might influence you, maybe. Look, I don't blame you for not wanting to move here. It's freaking expensive, but if you can make it work, I would not be sad.
I mean, it's not cheap to live in Melbourne either, but
that's true. But it is cheaper, at least in terms of housing. It's cheaper.
Is it? Depends on where you end up living. So, but
yes. Well, I guess there are expensive areas of Melbourne, sure.
Look,
but I think overall it's considered more affordable in Sydney.
Look, over in the pros column, right, we've got, I actually work for a company that's based out of Sydney, so I could go into the office more often and get more interaction in my life. Yeah. Maybe taking away those safety nets of my sister and my son might make me actually venture out into life more. And I feel like I've made some connections with people from this job and who have moved on from this job that might actually develop into real friendships, and that would be easier if I was up there. So we got those three benefits. On the other side of things, I'd have to go into the office.
Yes, which could be a double-edged sword for sure.
I'd be an awful long way away from, my son and my sister.
You lose the safety nets, which is hard. Yeah.
I mean, it's weird, but it's like moving so far away, it kind of almost feels like losing them. It's odd. It's not really that far.
No, I understand that. As someone who lives in a totally different time zone from most of their family, that's hard.
Yeah.
I mean, even if they were in the same country as me, I'd still find it hard to, not see them all the time.
And then, of course, it's not cheap to move.
It's not cheap. Just moving is not cheap, and then finding a place to rent is hard.
Yeah.
I mean, this is anecdotal, but, we definitely have encountered plenty of people who are looking for rentals and stuff here in Sydney who are from Melbourne and just being shocked at the sticker price on rents, and the kinds of places you could rent for the same money in Sydney were a lot worse. But, that was a few years ago, so it's improved.
These people who have been supportive of me moving to Sydney, none of them are willing to clean out their garages and let me move in or anything.
I know.
How rude.
And those are the ones who actually have theoretically space.
Right? Right? So everyone's all keen on Marley moving to Sydney until they have to share space with her, and then it's like, ooh, no, we don't have space for you.
Alright, I better go eat dinner. Thanks for joining us on Moments of Madness. If today's antics sparked joy or a bewildered chuckle, give us a follow.
Check out our socials for more information or discussion on any of our topics today, or to recommend a book, movie, game, or topic for future episodes.
Until next time, keep waving those freak flags high and embrace the beautifully bizarre.